So this chapter opens up with us seeing the Hero Association recruiters going into like this remote dojo in the middle of nowhere because they're looking for Suiryu's master, Suicho. He's the creator of the Void style fist that we saw Suiryu using. And they're essentially looking for him because they're down some heroes at this point. Mainly Bang has retired. He was number 3 in the S class and certainly one of the strongest of them. My Mask, as we just got over that whole arc, was revealed to be a freaking monster, and now he's MIA, which we'll get into. Child Emperor, Metal Bat, and Darkshine all left the Hero Association as well to join the Neo Heroes in some capacity. So they are down 5 S-class level individuals. And of course, My Mask was A-class rank 1. We all know, but he was S-class essential. So it's understandable that they're looking for some extra heroes now because they seriously need it. Since the Hero Association itself is very top-heavy. Yes, they have like, I think over 500 heroes or something, or close to that on the roster, but it ultimately really comes down to like the 17 S-class heroes, more or less. Once they get inside of the dojo, they find Suiko, who is Suiryu's sister, and she reveals that Suicho actually died 2 years ago, and that even if he were offered this S-class hero's position, he probably would have declined it anyway. Then they ask if there's any other strong disciples that Suicho had or is currently at the dojo right now that could possibly be an S-class hero, and Suiko says, nah, I'm the only disciple left, especially since Suiryu is doing his own thing. You know, having that hedonistic playboy lifestyle that he described during the Super Fight Tournament arc. And especially now that he, I guess, kind of accidentally joined the Neo Heroes. He initially wanted to join the Hero Association because he was inspired by Saitama, but things didn't really go that way. So now he's with the Neo Heroes and he's one of the Neo leaders there. So Suiko herself is like, yeah, you know what? I'll join and I'll become an S-class hero. And that raises the question of like, is Suiko strong enough to be an S-class hero? Because Suiryu certainly is. We don't really know much about Suiko. I mean, it stands to reason that she could be if Suiryu himself is, and they were both taught by Suicho, who was probably S-class level in strength himself. I mean, if he can make Suiryu that. But then again, Suiryu was heavily implied to just be like a freak of nature the way that like Garo is. Although nowhere near as talented, of course. But that's where the sequence ends, and we're just gonna have to wait and see how strong Suiko actually is, because she for sure will have to undergo a test to have a chance to become an S-class hero. It's not like they're just gonna be like, well, okay, here you go, S-class hero, no questions asked. Also, guys, can we please try to get 3,000 likes on this video? Take that phone, hit that like button. It'll really help the video, and it'll help me out as well. Thank you, guys. Then we come to the Neo Heroes again, or more so the Neo leaders. And they're once again reacting to Amai Mask coming out as a monster and everything. We see this guy A reacting to it. This guy Zaditz, who is like a big money investor into the Neo Heroes, but also a Neo leader himself for some reason. It's implied he possibly has some tech behind him. We also see Excel here, and mainly Webby Gaza. Webby Gaza is essentially like the Amai Mask equivalent of the Neo Heroes. She's like an idol turned hero, but she's also like a cyborg with 70% of her body modified. And she's really upset over Amai Mask being outed as a monster here because she looked up to Amai Mask. He was like her inspiration essentially in becoming what she has, and she reveals that she wanted to defeat him herself with her own idol power or whatever, or as an idol. And now she's not necessarily going to get that opportunity because of what had happened. This is just more characterization from Webby Gaza, because I guess as time goes on, she's going to be one of the Neo leaders that is focused on more so than the others. Hey guys, but first let's talk about Gamer Supps, because I absolutely love this stuff. It's a keto friendly energy formula to get you feeling nice and right to game, study, or do whatever. And while it does have caffeine in there for a nice little boost, it's not just that. It also has nootropics in it like L-theanine, L-tyrosine, ginseng, and a few others. So it gets you nice and focused and feeling good. And if you don't like caffeine, that's fine, because they have caffeine-free flavors that just have the nootropics in it, such as Only Fox. They also have sleep support, such as this AFK blueberry lemon cake flavor. It's melatonin-free, so you don't have to worry about that. And it's packed with magnesium, L-theanine, and apigenin. Take this before bed and it'll get you snoring before you know it. Gamer Supps also has these really cool shakers called waifu cups. You can't get this one anymore, or really any of them, because they sell out super fast. But if you're lucky enough, you can catch a drop maybe every other Friday or something like that.
Link in the description. Code Big Z. everyone listening, code Big Z.
Code Big Z.
Thanks.
Then we come to McCoy, who I guess is zooming in from the Hero Association. He's still playing both sides, but eventually he's going to jump ship for sure. That's like his plan, as he laid out in the previous chapter. Or, not the previous chapter, but we talked about that in the previous review. Also, I made a community post about this, but in the previous review, I got some things wrong from the translations. I'm sorry about that. It made it seem like Watchdog Man was missing. He's not missing. He was just giving a testimonial on Amai mask, basically saying that he wasn't aware that Amai mask was a monster, like he couldn't smell it or whatever. Same thing with Zombie Man. He gave like a testimonial about not understanding what was going on with him, but I just want to quickly clarify that. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes, you know, I'm just going to get bad translations. It is what it is. I don't mean to put out misinformation or whatever. Obviously, you guys know that I'm not about that, even though maybe some of you think that I am, but I'm not. But McCoy is essentially saying that, like, what has happened with My Mask is good. It's working synergistically with the Neo Heroes, with their rise in popularity and the decrease in the popularity and trust in the Hero Association, along with it happening just in time for the Neo Heroes being, like, legally operated right now. Like, they finally have the same type of legality, authority, and jurisdiction the way that the Hero Association does. So they can operate the same way that the Hero Association, with the heroes and all of that stuff. They don't have to worry about that anymore. Because before this point, they weren't really doing anything. They were kind of still in their beta testing, I guess you could say. They were still getting their feet off the ground, but now they are fully operational. Also, in my previous review, I went over that long theory about how it's very likely that McCoy orchestrated this whole thing with the pesky clown and exposing a My Mask. Check out that review. I'll link it at the end of this video if you wanted to get more into that. But McCoy is very likely to be one of the masterminds behind all that stuff. But now that they're operational, the rest of the Neo leaders here are saying, like, well, the leader isn't here, or like the top guy of the Neo leaders, which was revealed to be Blast's son Blue. He's absent to this meeting. And they're like, oh, well, that's because he rushed out immediately and he seemed pretty excited about going on their first mission. Because, you know, like we said, now that the Neo heroes are fully operational, they can go out and start doing hero stuff. And the chapter ends with us seeing Blue out on the street saying that his first mission is going to be eliminating Amai Mask. And then underneath him, we see Saitama in a store buying dog food, presumably for both Black Ass and Overgrown Rover. And this is where things are going to get really interesting, because first of all, Blue is within his legal authority to do this. Amai Mask is now a monster, and you can execute him on the spot, even though he is like a pro hero or whatever I guess he formerly was. Like we talked about before, in this world, there is no gray area with monsters. It's not like you have to arrest them or whatever. You can just straight up kill them and that's it. No questions asked. So that's what Blue intends to do. And it's not like Blue knows what the audience knows. He just knows that Amai Mask is a monster and that he needs to be executed. But also at the same time, we know that Saitama aided and abetted. Is that how you say that? Aided and abetted? You know, like aiding and abetting. Can you aid and abet? Well, he helped Amai Mask escape. He put Amai Mask somewhere where no one else knows where he is. And Blue is going to try to figure out where that is, but since we're seeing Saitama underneath this panel, it means that Saitama is going to be involved in this in some way, so it's very possible that we might see Blue, the son of Blast, conflict with Saitama, which would be fascinating. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, guys. If you liked the video, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.